I'm Pat.
I'm Bob.
And we're your garden helpers here at Barnes School. And we've really missed having all the children's voices and their excitement in the garden last spring, this summer, and now in the fall. So we thought we'd take you on a tour of your garden so you can see what's been happening during those times. So let's get started. So you can see we have lots of strawberry plants, and I was looking as we were standing there and I found a little red ripe strawberry. So I'm going to just pick it, and this one looks yummy. Nice and sweet. That was a special treat for this time of year. I think we lucked out. So we're going to head on over to look at some giant squash. There's two huge ones here. They're kind of a grayish blue color, and their skin feels a little bit bumpy but smooth. There's no prickly things on it. Sometimes these vines and the leaves have little stickers. If you touch them, you can kind of feel they're prickly, but the squash isn't. This is, when you cut this into chunks, you can roast it or even use it in pumpkin pies, which is a surprise to a lot of people. So looks like this is going to make quite a few pies. We're going to head over and look at some plants called nasturtiums. And they've got some flowers on them, still a few left. And a lot of people don't realize, but these flowers are edible. That means that you can eat them, and they are really good in salads. They have a little bit of a peppery taste, and they make the salad really colorful. And so if you see nasturtiums, you can try one of the petals and see what you think.
They're good on pizza.
Oh, pizza, yes. We've got another unusual plant that you don't always see in gardens. I'm going to stop over here before we go to that one and show you some ground cherries. When they grow on the plant, they're green like this. And then when the skin turns a kind of a brownish color, if you peel that skin off, you can pop this little fruit in your mouth, and it is a sweet, sweet treat. Yum. Let's check out the eggplants. There's one there, and there's a giant one here. And this one has lots of eggplants hiding underneath the leaves. You can see these little ones. And there's more. Look at all these eggplants. And they're really yummy to roast and make a special dish that's called baba ganoush. And over here we have some basil. And basil is really, really good in Italian dishes. And I like to put it in salads, and I also like to eat it with tomatoes and mozzarella cheese and a little bit of balsamic vinegar and olive oil, and it is really yummy. It has a really different flavor, kind of a sweetish flavor compared to most other greens. So this is the basil. You can see some of it's kind of starting to get little black spots on it. So that means it's getting close to being done. But there's still lots of good basil there. Let's head over through the grape arbor. Ooh, I can smell the grapes in here, and there's still a few left here. The birds haven't gotten them all. We picked quite a few of these a couple weeks ago and gave them out during lunch pickup time. So hopefully you were some of the people that got some of them. But these are really, really ripe. Nice and juicy. And no seeds. So we're going to continue on through the grape arbor. And look at the more basil over there. There's tomatoes. Lots of green ones on here. But there are some red ones. And some chocolate tomatoes too. Lots of people think they taste like chocolate, but they really don't. They just are kind of a brownish color like chocolate is. So these tomatoes are ripe, ready to pick and pop in your mouth. Very good. And it looks like Bob found some more squash.
A real fun-shaped one here. Can't decide which way to grow.
Well, look at this one.
Oh.
Careful. Oh, it's almost a circle. Can you see that? Look at that. How cool is that?
Big earring.
And we've got some beans. Lots of beans. We picked lots of beans this summer and gave them to people that needed food, and they were very thankful to get them. So we're going to take a look at some beans, and maybe we can find one. Ah, here we go. This one looks all shriveled up. So I'm going to pick it. We're going to open it up. And look at those seeds in there. And you know, if you take these seeds and you lay them like on a plate in the sunshine so they can get really dry, then maybe in the spring if you plant them, you could have nice bean plants just like these. And they'd grow yummy beans that you could pick and eat. You can see some here. These are ready to eat. Look at all these beans. Okay. Let's check out. There's some potatoes that the tops got cut off and they're ready to be harvested. Kind of like digging for gold when you dig for potatoes. But this is asparagus. And your garden has 2 beds full of beautiful asparagus with this lovely fern. It's just almost kind of like a fairyland, it seems like. And asparagus is kind of a cool plant because it grows clear down here from the bottom, and then it grows up, and the part you eat is usually this part, but then as it gets closer to the top, it gets this beautiful fern on it. And you can see some of the ferns even have little berries on them. And there's, oops, I just knocked it off. There was a red one, and they're green at first and then they turn red. You can see there's some that are starting to turn. And Bob and I were thinking that these were seeds, but then we found out that you plant asparagus from the root, not from a seed. But an amazing thing happened here in your garden at Barnes. And if we go around the corner, you're going to see all these beautiful, beautiful little asparagus ferns growing up from the ground. And we didn't even plant these. So the mystery is, how did these start growing here? So we're gonna have to do some more research on that and find out. Maybe asparagus does grow from those little berries. Okay, and if we head over this way, you're gonna see some amazing pumpkins. And one of the traditions at Barnes School is the kindergartners in the spring start little plant pumpkin seeds and start little plants in their classroom. And then they bring them out to the garden in the spring and plant those plants. And then in the fall, when those kindergartners are first graders, they get to each take a pumpkin home. Well, the problem is, in the spring, or last spring, schools closed down. So kindergartners weren't able to start pumpkin plants. So Bob and I thought, you know what, we need to be sure that there's some pumpkins growing in your garden. So we planted some seeds and an amazing pumpkin patch happened here. You can see there's going to be lots of pumpkins for first graders to take home. And there's another big patch over here. And it looks like we have all sizes. We have small, we have medium, and we have extra large, not just large. So we're excited to be able to give away these pumpkins when they're ready towards the end of October to the first graders at Barnes. So let's head on over to the shed. Oh, yeah, forgot that. Thank you, Bob. You can see along the fence there's an apple tree. And this apple tree was donated to the Barnes garden by Coco, and it has 6 different kinds of apples on it. And most of the apples have already gotten ripe and been harvested, but you can see there's a few down here on this branch, and a couple over there on that side on that branch. And this tree is a tree that it grows flat along the fence, and you can see the little green ties on it that have been tied to the branches so that it stays close to the fence. So thank you, Coco, for that special gift. We're so glad that you were able to come on a tour of your garden today, and we want you to know that we really miss your joyful voices and the excitement that you bring to the garden here at Barnes. And we want you to know that this is your garden, but we've tried to take care of it for you while you can't be in here. So we look forward to having you back soon, and when you're outside on the playground, come look through the fence at least and look at some of the things we showed you today. So take care and hope to see you soon. Bye!
Springtime.